All right, we now have to take you live to Uyo, where the University of Uyo is hosting a public lecture themed Leading Economic Development in Subnationals of the Nigerian Federation. Delivering the lecture is the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umo Eno, who is expected to share insights on driving growth and innovation at the state level. This event is part of the Rise Media Lecture Series. Let's join the live proceedings.
Again, you have come to show governance, sir. You have shown governance, you have shown love, you have shown humility, you have shown development in all aspects. And today, we will all sit down and listen to you, and we know for sure, after now, VC, may I crave your indulgence to confer on the governor a professor of... Thank you, and God bless you.
How good and how pleasant it would be before God and man here to see the unification of all Akwa Ibomites. Are you there? Ladies and gentlemen, a message of hope underlying the value of peace and for peace, courtesy the representative of himself, the Senate President. If you ask me, sir, what you said just reminded me, and if I share this information with you, that what is going on is happening live on Arise Television, the AKBC Television, and all the radio stations that dot this state, Akwa Ibom. Please, let's get to know that. The next thing is to note, please, that everyone has spoken about the expectations that we have from the governor. But sir, if you don't mind, let me remind you that himself, the Senate President, is an alumnus of this place at the instance of Honoris Degrees Causa. And I want to say that if he comes from the left and the governor comes from the right, you shall be happy to suffer from that. Thank you. I'm therefore saying we are done with the goodwill message courtesy the President of the Nigerian Senate. Let's have a goodwill message from the Committee of Deans. Goodwill message, Committee of Deans. And the one to do that is himself, the Dean Faculty of Communication and Media Studies, Professor Peter Esu. Peter the Rock Esu. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, our Governor, God bless you. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, God bless you. My Vice Chancellor, the Chairman, the Secretary to the Government, the Office of the First Lady, and others, I thank you for coming to this great university, the University of Uyo. It is on record, and we keep it, that the University of Uyo is a brand, and that we have actually produced great Nigerians who have been able to stand anywhere in the world, and we can attest to that. Your Excellency, today, we salute the Faculty of Social Sciences for picking on you. And what they have done is to tell the world that this is one man who doesn't joke with education. When a man decides to go to school and go as far as getting a PhD, it means the man can present thesis at any corner of the world. I do not see any other state that is higher than Akwa Ibom State that has been able to produce the governor with a Doctor of Philosophy and the Deputy Governor with a Doctor of Philosophy. So as we, on behalf of the Committee of Deans, we salute the Faculty of Social Sciences. Your Excellency, today, your parents will be very proud of you, wherever they are. Your dear wife who left you will be very proud of you. I can say this. I remember that you are a complete alumnus of this great university. You didn't run to Oxford. You didn't run to Michigan. You didn't run to Yale. You studied in the University of Uyo. And the essence is this: any university must have the culture of universality. That means you can stand anywhere in the world It doesn't matter where you study. What matters most is how you studied and the quality of education that has been embedded in you. Your Excellency, you did your first degree here with us. Some say you didn't do it, but we know you did it here with us. You came back for your master's degree. You did it here with us. When you went back to the private sector, there was no delusionment as to where you did your first degree or your master's. And you came back for your PhD. But the moment you stepped into the political arena to become the governor of this great state, there were question marks as to whether or not you have education. Today, an opportunity has been given to prove to the world that the PhD offered to you was not a ruse. Today, you will bring to the fore thesis that will interact with antithesis and produce synthesis for further elucidation. We in the Committee of Deans salute you and welcome you to the great University of Uyo, and we believe that as the greatest leader of subnational in Nigeria today, no better choice would have been able to dissect it with your Arise agenda. Welcome to this great brand. University of Uyo is a brand. You are a brand. You are one of the greatest ambassadors of this university. We are going to celebrate you after this lecture, as we have always done. But when I got in here and I saw the number of persons here, I was wondering. I said, I have seen your signature in every aspect. But the Committee of Deans is like, if we have a space out of the 54,000 students that we have in the University of Uyo, we would have had a 5,000 sitting arena. And to us, who should bear the name of that arena? It should be Umo Basi Eno Arena. And that Umo Basi Eno Arena, if you put it, because we believe, sir, that you will come back to this same university and you will make a presentation that will be greater than today. And we will celebrate you. You know, in known countries, valedictory speeches of governors are actually sometimes done right inside the citadel of learning. You will break the jinx as the first that will do so in Nigeria. Having said that, I want to use this opportunity to tell the National Assembly chairman that this is our own university. And that as you go back, sir, help us, because I'm speaking on behalf of Committee of Deans. Help us tell the Senate President that this is the premier university in this state, and that since the beginning of this university till now, we are yet to receive our takeoff grant. And that this is very important, that you go back and take this message to him. Let us get our own takeoff grant, and let us put this university where it belongs. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. The last speaker, Professor Peter Esu, is a professor of Communication and Media Studies, specializing in rhetorics. The next item is item number 9. There were many prophets in Israel, and it was only John the Baptist that was qualified to introduce the Christ. Somebody is qualified to introduce the lecturer. He is a member of the Faculty of Social Sciences, a sociologist. He is the son of a former administrator in this university. He wore a brown jacket and was speaking here. Brown shoes, brown belt. He's a professor of criminology. And his name is, his name is Professor Aniekan S. Brown.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen,
You permit me to start by acknowledging that Grace has qualified me to take this event or the next item. And may I find Grace before His Excellency and others to please request that in line with what our medics will advise, that it's not too good to sit for too long. May I request that all of us please stand. All right, having stood, my request that if your name is not His Excellency Pastor Omo Basieno, and you were not born on the 24th of April 1964 in a city called Enugu, and you are not the current Governor of Akwa Ibom State, please take seats. On that note, Your Excellency, the Lord falls on you that you alone will remain standing. And what an honor I have to really stand opposite you. On this note, may I request, sir, that you remain standing for just the next few minutes, after which you'll be invited to the lectern for the presentation of this lecture. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as said earlier, 24th of April 1962 was the date of his birth. We note that that place that he was born is present-day Enugu State. And this tall gentleman hails from Ikorekwenodo in Insurubium local government area here in Akwa Ibom State. Has not just been born, but it sent us for us into educational and professional qualifications. Let me note that his academic journey started at the local government authority school in Lagos for his primary education. He then proceeded to St. Francis Secondary School, Ikorotaku in Eket. That time, I was actually at the St. Francis Primary School, Ikorotaku in Eket. I'd like to note that later he went to Victory High School, Ikeja in Lagos, where he served as school prefect and obtained his West African University certificate in 1981. We know that he holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Political Science and Public Administration from our university, and driven by a strong desire to deepen his academic knowledge, he earned a Master's degree in Public Administration and quite recently a Doctor of Philosophy degree in Political Science with specialization in Public Administration, all of the University of Uyo. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we note that he also holds several professional certifications from both national and international institutions, including a certificate in development of tourism and small islands and sub-Saharan Africa and Seychelles, certificate in effective negotiation strategy, United Kingdom, and certificate in strategic marketing, still United Kingdom. In terms of career, Governor Eno distinguished himself in the private sector, working with the Union Bank PLC, Betola Machine Tools Limited, the Norman Investment Limited, where he specialized in business advisory and financial planning. At Norman Investment Limited, he developed and implemented a financial roadmap that significantly increased profits from 5% to 15% with a single financial year, an achievement that earned him a promotion from finance and investment manager to group general manager of the holding company Norman Holdings Limited. In 1997, he ventured into entrepreneurship by founding the Royalty Hotels and Recreations Limited in Eket. Today, the Royalty Group spans hotels, apartments, eateries, coffee shops, industrial catering outlets, and the Aqua Fresh Water brand. Over the years, the group has provided employment for more than 2,500 people in Akwa Ibom State. Career in public service will lead us to the fact that Pastor Moino, our governor, first entered public service in year 2004 when he was appointed chairman of Akwa Ibom State Hotels and Tourism Board by the then Governor, His Excellency Architect Obong Victor. In 2019, he was appointed Executive Director for Agricultural Investment at the Akwa Ibom State Investment Corporation, AKICOP, by the then Governor, His Excellency Mr. Udom Emmanuel, Commander of the Order of the Niger. In January 2021, he was further appointed into the State Executive Council as the Honorable Hotels and Recreations Limited in Eket. Today, the Royalty Group spans hotels, apartments, eateries, coffee shops, industrial catering outlets, and the Aqua Fresh Water brand. Over the years, the group has provided employment for more than 2,500 people in Akwa Ibom State. Career in public service will lead us to the fact that Pastor Moino, our governor, first entered public service in year 2004 when he was appointed chairman of 2022. He was elected governor of Akwa Ibom State on March 18, 2023 by an overwhelming majority and officially sworn in on the 29th of May 2023. In terms of governance and vision, since assuming office, Governor Omar Eno, PhD, has demonstrated while the people entrusted in him their mandate. His people-focused governance model, encapsulated in their rights agenda, prioritizes agricultural revolution for A, R for rural development, I for infrastructural maintenance and expansion, and S for security management, while E is for educational advancement. His visionary leadership has received national recognition. Under the Arise Compassionate Homes Initiative, he has constructed fully furnished two-bedroom homes for the poorest and most vulnerable citizens, often citing his humble beginnings as motivation, for championing the cause of the downtrodden. God raised him therefrom, and therefore he has also initiated transformational projects across tourism, infrastructure, security, healthcare, education, small and medium enterprises, development, human capital growth, as well as aviation. Honors have therefore trailed him and awards. Governor Eno is a distinguished leader with numerous accolades to his name. He is a 3-star Paul Harris Fellow of the Rotary International. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Catering and Hotels Institute. He's an alumnus of Lagos Business School. And the This Day newspaper, Human Rights TV Governor of the Year 2024, Leadership newspaper, Governor of the Year 2024, Telegraph newspaper, Human Capital Development Governor of the Year 2024, Premium FM Best Performing Governor 2024, Distinguished Public Service and Transformational Leadership Award, the Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce, National Merit Award for Change and Good Leadership, the Independent Magazine Publishers Association of Nigeria, Gold Service Award for Professionalism in Hotel Management, Honorable Member, World Conference of Mayors. He also holds the traditional title of Abong Onwana Nsiribium. Your Excellency, sir, your spiritual life and ministry, that beyond politics and enterprise, that you are a devout Christian and you serve as the honor shepherd of the All Nations Christian Ministry International, where you continue to inspire through faith and service. In terms of family life, sir, you got married to your beloved wife, Pastor Mrs. Patience Umoino, who until her passing last year, the marriage had been blessed with 6 children and several grandchildren. Your Excellency, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it took us a tall order to reduce this CV that is very rich and voluminous into these few lines. On this note, the Vice Chancellor, through the Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I do not entertain any reservation in recommending that we sit aside, stay tuned, and listen to this gentleman whom God made and sent to this part of the world for a day like this to come lead us through a discourse titled Leading Economic Development in Subnationals of the Nigerian Federation, the Arise Agenda. Your governor, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the lecturer.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Of the greatest Nigerian students, of the greatest Nigerian students, greatest Baba, greatest Bobo. Thank you so much. Please let's take our seats. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Distinguished Senator Akwa Ibom, PhD, the Coordinator of the Office of the First Lady, my dear daughter Helen and your spouse, the representative of the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that is the Chairman of the National Assembly Civil Service Commission, the Honorable Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, represented by the Chief Whip of Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, members of the National Assembly and your spouses that are here, the Chief Host of this event, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Uyo, Professor Yaudo Ndayo, and your beloved spouse. The chairman of the occasion, Professor Akpan Hogan Ekpo, Professor Emeritus of the University of Uyo, and a distinguished economist acknowledged globally. Other discussants that are here with us, the chairman of our party, the People's Democratic Party, Akwa Ibom State, and members of the State Working Committee, chairman of IPAC and other parties that are here, we acknowledge and salute you. The Secretary to Government, Honorable Commissioners, Delivery Advisors, Honorary Special Advisors to the Governor and other aides, heads of other tertiary institutions, former Vice Chancellors, members of the University Management Team, members of the University Senate. If we can have some quiet, it will help us. So I can even assimilate from the lecture. Service commanders, both serving and retired, chairmen of boards and commissions, permanent secretaries and heads of extra ministerial departments, chairman of local government councils led by the Algon chairman, senior citizens, stakeholders, the Dean of Faculty of Social Sciences, College of Deans of the University. Permit me to specially recognize the head of department of my department, the Political Science Department, Professor Honora, and all of our lecturers, our royal fathers, university community and students, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by thanking God for this awesome privilege that He has granted me to be here this evening. To me, it's like I'm coming back to defend my thesis. And I just pray that with the array of all of the professors that are here today, not just of my faculty, that they will give me my doctorate degree back before I go. I'd like to thank all of you for this privilege. Well, let me thank the Vice Chancellor, Professor Yaudo Ndayo, for granting that I'll be here this evening. I don't take it for granted. Let me thank the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, Professor Chris Ekkom, for his invitation for me to be here this evening. I'd like to thank you for what you have done to speak on the topic, Leading Economic Development in Subnationals of the Nigerian Federation, the Arise Agenda Experience. I'd like to thank all of my teachers, all of my lecturers for the Department of Political Science, and I thank you for the great work you have done to prepare me for today. And I'd like to please acknowledge publicly that the Arise Agenda was prepared mostly by leaders, professors, and teachers of this great university. We work together day and night. We come back after every campaign and we sit back and argue and look at the metrics. Let me acknowledge, in no particular order, Professor Okonansa, Professor Trenchard Ibia, the economic advisor to the governor, Dr. Odwarabong Inam. Let me acknowledge Prince Enobong Uwa, Sir Charles Udo, and all of the others that may not have come from the University of Uyo. So this, in fact, is the product, the Arise Agenda itself is a product of the University of Uyo. And so I'm proud to acknowledge that as I make this presentation. Nigeria's federal structure places significant responsibility for development on its subnational entities, states and local governments. However, the uneven pace of social-economic growth across the country reflects a persistent over-reliance on the federal government and a lack of strategic autonomous development planning by subnational governments. This has contributed to widespread underdevelopment, unemployment, poor infrastructure, and poverty in many parts of the Federation. In this context, Akwa Ibom State's Arise Agenda represents a potentially transforming model of localized governance and economic planning. The Arise Agenda seeks to chart a sustainable development path through deliberate investment in agriculture, rural development, infrastructure, security management, and educational advancement. However, the extent to which such model can be effectively implemented and scaled remains underexplored. The state and local governments play a vital role in policy implementation, investment promotion, and infrastructural development. Building the economic structures of the subnational is a sine qua non for the development of the Federation. It is worthy of note that in Nigeria, many of the subnational entities struggle with an inadequate revenue occasioned by weak revenue generation base, weak governance frameworks, and overdependence on federal allocation. To address these issues, a paradigm shift is required, one that emphasizes a comprehensive and intentional development planning aimed at providing the necessary and sufficient conditions for inclusive growth and economic development, which is indicated in self-sufficiency, economic diversification, and good governance. This paper, therefore, seeks to examine the role of subnational governments, specifically in Akwa Ibom State, in leading economic development initiatives through the lens of the Arise Agenda. It investigates how strategic subnational planning can hopefully serve as a catalyst for national development and provide a replicable blueprint for other states. At the heart of this paper lies a critical question. Can robust, visionary subnational economic planning like that embodied in the Arise Agenda serve as a foundation for a more developed and unified Nigerian Federation? These are the issues we'll be looking at as I attempt to bring to you the Akwa Ibom experience through the Arise agenda. But before I attempt to address the topic further, let me state here with a deep sense of pride that Akwa Ibom State has been exceedingly blessed with pragmatic and visionary leaders who came well prepared with well-defined developmental blueprints and worked tirelessly to implement them. From being a once dusty provisional subnational entity with narrow and dusty streets and paucity of infrastructure, our state in just 37 years has transformed into one of the most consequential subnationals in Nigeria. Today, the Akwa Ibom State landscape is blessed with world-class infrastructure, an extensive road network that connects the state seamlessly, a thriving commercial airline, Ibom Air, a technologically inclined population, a peaceful and tourism-friendly environment that attracts investors and residents from across the country and in the diaspora. Quite an exciting journey, you will agree with me. This remarkable progress was made possible by the passionate effort of past leaders, particularly those who have governed the state since the advent of the current democratic dispensation. Starting with His Excellency Architect Obong Victor Attah, from 1999 to 2007, is regarded as the father of modern Akwa Ibom. He laid the foundation for economic growth and successfully championed the resource control battle. Then on to His Excellency Distinguished Senator Godswill Obot Akpabio GCON, 2007 to 2015, as the third democratically elected governor and now the president of the 10th Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and chairman of the National Assembly. In his time, he implemented the uncommon transformation agenda, prioritizing massive infrastructural development, including the National Stadium, which is now the home of the Super Eagles. Then on to His Excellency Deacon Udom Gabriel Emmanuel, CON, 2015 to 2023, the fourth democratically elected governor. He advanced the Dakada philosophy, linking the state through strategic infrastructure, while launching Ibom Air, amongst others, as a lasting legacy. Having paid tribute to our leaders, we can now go on to look at the grace of God and the overwhelming support that our people gave to us. And today we are here because this is a relay race. These men have passed the baton one to another, and now by the grace of God, we hold the baton. And we are committed to raising the bar of development by leveraging our natural and human resources for sustainable growth. To achieve this overarching goal, my government adopted a development strategy, the Arise agenda, which is designed to achieve the desired economic development goals of Akwa Ibom State. With these efforts and those of our past leaders, Akwa Ibom is now regarded as one of Nigeria's leading and emerging subnationals, one of Nigeria's best-kept secrets. At the core of this new movement of growth and expansion is the Arise agenda, a bold and well-crafted economic blueprint that serves as a roadmap for our state's future growth and development. I'd like to discuss the theoretical framework that surrounds this paper. The economic development at the subnational level in Nigeria faces significant challenges that hinder sustainable growth and prosperity. These challenges span socioeconomic, infrastructural, governance, security, and environmental factors, all of which contribute to the slow pace of economic transformation at the subnational levels. In discussing the challenges of subnational economic development, be it state or local, I found three relevant theoretical frameworks to help guide our thoughts. The developmental state theory. This theory emphasizes the strategic role of states in driving economic growth and the provision of social amenities and infrastructures that derives industrialization. This theory refers to a model of state-led macroeconomic planning used primarily to explain the rapid economic growth of East African countries like Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan during the late 20th century. The theory emphasizes the role of a strong interventionist government that guides economic development through industrial policies, investment in education, and collaboration with the private sector. Key features of developmental state theory includes a meritocratic bureaucracy like Japan, MITI, with autonomy from political pressures. Strategic industrial policy, including subsidies, tariff protection, and support for key industries. A close relationship between the state and business elite, often described as embedded autonomy. Emphasis on export-oriented growth rather than import substitution. The developmental theory, state theory, contrasts with neoliberal models that prioritize free markets and minimal state intervention. The theory gained prominence through the works of scholars like Chalmers Johnson, who analyzed Japan's economic strategy, and Peter Evans, who explored the comparative institutional dynamics in countries like Brazil, India, and Korea. The Arise Agenda Plan document aligns with this theoretical framework, where our government craves to provide social amenities and infrastructures that will drive industrialization. The second theory is the decentralization theory. The decentralization theory explores the transfer of authority and responsibility from central government to lower level governments, such as regional, local, or municipal authorities. It is based on the belief that decentralizing power can lead to more efficient, responsive, and accountable government. There are three main forms of decentralization. Political decentralization, transferring decision-making powers to elective local governments. Administrative decentralization, redistributing planning and management responsibilities to local units. Fiscal decentralization, giving subnational government control over budget, revenue collection, and expenditure, as outlined by the World Bank Report 2001. Proponents argue that decentralization improves service delivery, promotes democratic participation, and accommodates diverse local needs. Critics caution that it can exacerbate inequalities and lead to local elite capture of the system, if not properly managed. This theory supports the decentralization of power in the Nigerian Federation by creating the subnationals for smooth and efficient administration of the country. The third theory is the endogenous growth theory. The endogenous growth theory emerged in the 1980s and 90s as a response to the limitation of neoclassical growth models, particularly the solo swan model, which treated technological progress as an external exogenous factor. In contrast, endogenous growth theory explains long-term economic growth as a result of internal factors within the economy, such as human capital development, innovation, and knowledge spillovers. Key assumption of the theory includes investment in research and development and education that enhances productivity. Knowledge has increasingly returned to scale and is non-rivalrous, making it a key driver of sustained growth. Government policies such as subsidies for education or innovation can influence the growth rate. The endogenous growth theory highlights the importance of policy intervention and institution in fostering innovation-led growth, particularly in developing countries. This supports the ARISE Agenda's option in investing in human capital development and innovation to create endogenous knowledge stock. These theories provide sufficient grounding for the economic development of Nigeria's subnationals and gives impetus to the currently adopted processes of decentralization and endogenous growth in the nation. Let's discuss the challenges of economic development in Nigerian subnationals. A substantial portion of the population lives below the poverty line, struggling with limited access to basic necessities such as food, healthcare, and education. Youth unemployment remains alarmingly high, leading to social dislocation and reduced economic productivity. Income inequality continues to widen, worsening social tension and restricting inclusive development. Many states rely heavily on federal allocations from oil proceeds, including Akwa Ibom, making them vulnerable to fluctuations in global oil prices, while the migration of skilled professionals in search of better opportunities creates a deficit in human capital development. We are all aware of the Japa syndrome. Infrastructural deficiencies further compound these issues. Frequent electricity outages disrupt industries, businesses, and overall economic activities, while poor road networks, increased transportation costs, and limited access to markets, particularly in rural areas. Many communities struggle with inadequate water supply and poor sanitation, posing serious health and productivity challenges. Governance is further bogged down by bureaucratic inefficiencies and weak institutional frameworks. Security concerns pose additional threats as armed conflicts, particularly in the northeast and other volatile regions, disrupt economic activities and discourage investment. The rise of terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping creates an atmosphere of instability, deterring both local and foreign investors. Environmental challenges, including climate change, pose long-term risk to economic sustainability. Rising temperatures, unpredictable rainfall, desertification threatened agriculture, water resources, and food security. Pollution from industrial activities and poor waste management affects public health and overall quality of life. Addressing these multifaceted challenges requires targeted policies, strategic investment, collaborative effort between the government and the private sector, and international development partners. Surmounting the challenges of the economic development in the Nigerian subnationals. Sustainable economic development in Nigerian subnationals depends on diversification, infrastructural development, strong governance, and human capital investment to drive inclusive growth, which will eventually lead to development. Akwa Ibom State is endowed with abundant human and material resources and is one of the safest places to live and work in this country. The challenge of a developing economy such as ours is how to harness the abundant human and material resources to rapidly achieve sustainable growth and development. Sustainable economic growth and development in the state hinges greatly on deepening and leveraging on the laudable actions, efforts, and strategies of past administration, of course, in an atmosphere of peace and without rancor. That is why this government has focused on an all-inclusive government, and we do not draw a line between, do not draw political lines. Where people do well, we say they are doing well. Where we come together as a people and look at our people beyond any political party. And since assuming office, I have tried to run an all-inclusive government, and I've tried to bring peace between past and present leadership so that we can have an atmosphere of peace without rancor, as peace is the most expensive commodity that is required. That is why even the Holy Book, Jesus said, "My peace I leave with you, not as the world giveth." And so this state is ranked among the most peaceful states. We do not fight amongst ourselves. We play politics with maturity and deep respect for our leaders. And this will continue to be my trajectory as long as I remain governor of Akwa Ibom State. I see political parties as a platform to run an election. Parties do not define who you are. It is what you are that you take to the party. And so no one should deceive me that any political party is better than the other. People develop with the practices and beliefs that they have been raised in their homes, and they grow with it. And party only amplifies who you are. In this regard, on assumption of office, we deployed a plan of action, formally christened the Economic Consolidation and Expansion Blueprint. This blueprint was crafted to serve as a guide and working document for our administration. It is aptly called the Arise Agenda. The blueprint highlights strategies and actions that will be deployed across sectors to push the frontiers of development in our dear state and address the problems that we have already highlighted using the theoretical framework that I earlier on listed. This blueprint was crafted by Akwa Ibomites, majority of whom sits in this hall today, to support Akwa Ibom State's journey towards becoming a vibrant, inclusive, diversified, and highly industrialized economy with lifelong opportunities that engender improved social welfare conditions and a more broadly shared prosperity. I want to thank the Faculty of Social Science for this invitation. We just came back from a 4-day retreat in Lagos, where we had to look at our achievements in the last 2 years, put them in proper perspective, look at the things, the gaps that are available, and then recharge and refresh to move forward. A lot of people criticize that, but the word itself is retreat. And if you have to retreat, it means step backward into a place where you will not be disturbed and then think of what to do next. Even Jesus will do a retreat to the mountains. And so if we have to leave Akwa Ibom and to go for a retreat to plan for Akwa Ibomites in implementing a 600 billion budget, I think that shouldn't be a huge cry. You know what that leaves me with? It leaves me with how we need to engage our people in meaningful venture. Because every time people criticize things they are not supposed to criticize, it simply shows me that we have no job. Because I don't know how many people criticize that Lagos goes on retreat, Abuja goes on retreat. Many people come for retreat in Akwa Ibom. Why don't they stay in their own places to do retreat? So we have a job cut out for us. We have to engage our people and keep them busy so that people don't look to the gates of government house every morning. Because if you go to Lagos, nobody even knows the name of the deputy governor of Lagos. Everybody is busy every morning. This is the reason why the Arise agenda is to be implemented. So our people can be busy, our people can be engaged, and government can be allowed to function so that people don't sit in front of a bottle of beer and begin to criticize government that they know nothing about. That you have a Nokia 911 phone does not entitle you to criticize government. The working of government is far beyond what you know. It was Barack Obama that said, until you sit behind the Oval Office and sit behind that desk, you do not know what it is to become an American president. To become the governor of a state goes beyond sitting in your parlor and criticizing. Leadership is an onerous responsibility, and it must be supported, whether as a nation or as a state or as a local government or as a family. The Arise agenda, born out of the desire to grow the economy while developing the abundant human resources in the state. The Arise agenda focuses on the achievement of 8 lofty goals: poverty reduction, job creation, price stability, sustainable economic growth, improved standard of living, environmental sustainability, highly educated, healthy, and skilled people, security of lives and properties. But to achieve the aforementioned goals, the Arise agenda focuses on 5 group aspirations, namely agricultural revolution, which includes tourism development and environmental management. Rural development includes women and youth empowerment, infrastructural maintenance and advancement, security management, sound educational and healthy health sector, education, industrial and social advancement. These are the 5 pillars upon which the Arise agenda revolves. These aspirations are our blueprint for economic consolidation and expansion, and they are collectively called the Arise agenda. Thus, the Arise agenda serves as the flagship of economic agenda that guides development efforts. Beyond these 5 key aspirations, the Arise agenda chose to deploy a holistic approach to development by paying close attention to the development of some existing and emerging sectors of the economy, such as agriculture, healthcare, education, infrastructure, women empowerment, youth empowerment and sports, information and communication technology, environment, housing, transportation, commerce, trade and industry, oil and gas, solid minerals, rural development, tourism, security, good governance, and public sector development. The Arise agenda aligns with global and national development frameworks, including United Nations 2030 Global Development Agenda, the Common African Position on Post-2015 Development, Africa's Agenda 2063, Nigeria's National Development Plan 2021 to 2025, and of course it aligns with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda in many respects. This framework emphasizes knowledge-driven, people-centric, and sustainable economic development, the very essence of the Arise agenda. Deliverables from the Arise agenda plan implementation. Now let me go to the things we've been able to use this agenda to achieve in the last 2 years. Since assuming office on May 29, 2023, we have demonstrated unwavering dedication in steering the ship of state. 23 months on, we have recorded significant gains that have positively impacted the lives of our people across key sectors. Guided by the Arise agenda, a well-defined and intentional blueprint for economic consolidation and expansion, our administration has implemented life-changing projects, programs, and policies to stimulate growth and enhance the social welfare conditions of our people. In just 23 months, our administration has remained focused, implementing developmental projects across the state, across each local government, across every ward of this state, based on the Arise Agenda planning model. The project includes model farms, roads, bridges, model primary schools, and model health centers. All have been constructed in all the local government areas, ensuring widespread infrastructural development and trying to stem the tide of the rural-urban migration. Rural development, we have been fixated on rural development and care for the vulnerable. This has been significantly captured in the Arise Agenda planning model and have remained top in the plan implementation. So far, across the state, we have built 204 of the targeted 400 compassionate homes and for the most vulnerable across all the length and breadth of Akwa Ibom State, while over 500,000 households have benefited from the state free food distribution program, reinforcing our commitment to welfare of our people. We have encouraged agricultural development by supporting our farmers through the 2 billion naira grant to duly verified farmers, promoting food production through schemes such as Arise Home Farmers Initiative, the Young Farmers Club, and the distribution of farm seedlings and inputs to thousands of farmers and cooperatives. We will do more. Infrastructure expansion is a critical pillar of the Arise agenda. So far, 223 roads and bridge projects, including those we inherited from previous administration, have been executed. Some have been commissioned, some are ongoing, while others are marked for flag-off. Additionally, we have earmarked 47 new projects spanning critical sectors for flag-off within the course of the year. And this does not include roads. The Arise Agenda plan for educational and healthcare development has led to the construction and equipping of model primary schools with state-of-the-art ICT laboratories, libraries, sick bay, and learning aids, with model health centers in all our 31 local government areas. We will soon flag off the construction of a modern secondary school, complete with boarding facilities and staff quarters in all 3 senatorial districts of our state, to restore the luster of what it used to be back in the days. Remember, I was in St. Francis. I remember that teachers would live on campus and they helped to stem in discipline in schools. If private schools can do well, and why will government schools not do well? And so I am determined to change that narrative. Our tourism drive has led to the conversion of 69 hectares of land formerly gully erosion ravaged area that was a death trap and home to miscreants around Dominic Utuk Avenue, Udoinwang in Uyo. If you go around, you know this story yourself. You know it better than myself. When we assumed office, one of the first things we confronted was the gully erosion that was actually beginning to consume the fence of the government house. Homes were gone, families were lost, people died. And not only did we reclaim the gully erosion site, we have now turned it to one of the world's largest resorts on 69 hectares of land, and complete with a 9-hole golf course, lakes, floating bars, lounges, and apartments. And these are the things we will do to begin to boost tourism, because there are two ways to diversify our economy right now: through tourism and through technology. And we are doing all of that. We are driving it steadily. We have signed a contract, and right now work has resumed in the International Conference Center that was abandoned over 15 years ago by the Tropicana International Conference Center. Contracts have been awarded for the 200-room Tropicana Hotel so that we can complete that hotel. And we are building by the side a shopping city, so that that ecosystem can be complete to drive traffic in tourism. We are taking full advantage of Ibom Air. We cannot just have an airline for people to be traveling in and out of Lagos. Dubai, when Dubai was to change, one of the first investments they made was to invest in Emirates Airline. Thankfully, our past leaders have invested. The government and I'm sure the Kinudom Emmanuel saw the future and brought Ibom Airline. And that's why I keep saying, let us stop vilifying our leaders, because they came and they served. No leader is perfect, not even I standing here. The only person that will be perfect and is perfect is Jesus Christ. Let us learn to acknowledge the good deeds of our leaders. Because you forget, when you point one finger to someone, 4 faces you. With a thriving Ibom Air, we are determined to use it to drive tourism and to diversify the economy of Akwa Ibom State. In the next 2 years, and if by the grace of God, you grant me an opportunity to serve you again for the next 4 years, I guarantee you that by the time we leave government, Akwa Ibom would have become a tourism destination in this country that people will flow into. We have strategically converted our moribund assets in Lagos and Abuja into revenue-generating enterprises. We are currently building an 18-story apartment in Lagos, and we are about to flag off another 150 hotel rooms in Abuja. Those assets have been moribund. And unfortunately, people were criticizing why leave Akwa Ibom for Abuja. I don't know what the people know about real estate market. Again, like I've said, criticism is good, but we must have alternative. We must have alternative. Don't criticize without offering a workable alternative. And that's what good criticism does. In investing in the apartment market in Lagos, the state stands to benefit in the years ahead, because we will make money, we will increase our internally generated revenue. And for those of you who go to Abuja, just by the Ministry of Finance Incorporated, you have Akwa Ibom House. Go there now and see how that important asset does not mean anything anymore. We will bring it down, we will build an international hotel, and we'll make money for this state. We are determined to drive tourism in Akwa Ibom. We will look at our tourism sites and we will revamp all of them. My commissioner for tourism has his job cut out for him, and I'm happy that he's an old student of this university, and he knows he will never put me down. We have continued the development of aviation infrastructure. We have made significant investments in completing the international terminal building, the MRO, and the taxiway. We are currently constructing the aviation village, and work is in an advanced stage. We advertised for our young people who are in construction, who can build houses, to apply on the portal so we can start building those houses. But if you get to the aviation village now, we've opened up the roads, we've done the drains, and we're ready because we are working to make our airport a 24/7 airport. And passing through the airport, you see that we've knocked down the medical center. We're building a hospital that will be able to take care of the influx of guests at any point in time. Since we assumed office, we have fulfilled our obligation to Ibom Air. We have purchased 2 brand new CRJ 900 Bombardier aircraft. We've taken delivery of 2 Airbus A220-300 series to expand the fleet of Ibom Air. And all of this we have done without borrowing a dime from any bank. We are currently big on our housing project. Currently, we are building the Ibom luxury apartment inside a red housing estate. And those of you who live around there will know that work is going on 24/7. And we hope to commission it soon. We have recently approved the procurement of CNG luxurious buses for our intercity bus service. And we are building a bus terminal, a repair workshop that will drive these CNG buses. Our team are on the way now to Turkey to ensure that they discuss with Isuzu that will give us those CNG buses manufactured from factory, full specs. We are determined to change the narrative of this state. We have launched the Arise Healthcare Insurance Scheme with over 15,000 of our people, especially the most vulnerable, being registered and they're already enrolled. Yesterday, this state was awarded an award as the fastest growing agency in healthcare coverage in the country by the Institute of Health Insurance and Managed Care of Nigeria. And this was just launched in September last year. The results are coming in. The results are coming in. Recently, we launched an emergency operations ambulance service with 30 new ambulances. We donated 2 to University of Uyo Teaching Hospital. So we have 28 in our fleet. A digital response center. We have launched model primary health care facilities through the Arise Care Initiative. And we have done every month, through the Arise Care Initiative for the elderly that was started by my wife. We take care of 600 senior citizens every month. We give them 50,000 naira and we take care of their health bills. Currently, along the medical corridor, we are building an Arise Senior Citizen Center that will help us to take care of these citizens. From the Arise Agenda Health Plan, very soon we are partnering with civil organization in Turkey to flag off the construction of a 200-bed international hospital with 24 departments all under one roof, aimed at boosting our medical tourism. We are prepared to send our doctors, about 100 of them, for training abroad in various fields so they can major and come back and serve these hospitals. We are building the medical village that will accommodate these doctors. These doctors will work, they will be well paid, and they will have access to facilities that will discourage them from going abroad. Let me tell you something. When you go abroad, which is good, you are going to work, but I guarantee you, 3/4 of your money goes back to government. You pay taxes, you pay rent, you pay everything. That's why a lot of them can't come home. A lot of them don't have air ticket. I have a lot of them begging me every day to give them air ticket to come back to Nigeria. We are going to provide you with houses, cars, facilities that will make you work and live in Akwa Ibom. We are determined to change the face of medical tourism in this region. The Arise Agenda Plan on Security. We have created a standalone ministry of internal security and waterways. We have set up the board of the Security Trust Fund, and I'm waiting for the board to launch the Security Trust Fund. Since September last year, we are losing money. Contractors are supposed to pay 1% of their earning to the Security Trust Fund. Until that fund is launched, we cannot deduct the money. So I'm waiting to see the launch of that trust fund. Please, chairman, members of the trust fund, you have 2 months to launch that trust fund. Enough of our losing money. Please work hard. We have set up Ibom Community Watch. We have launched security gunboats. We purchased 14 gunboats to aid security patrol. And we are currently building one of the best command and control centers in our state to complement the effort of mainstream security agencies. We have started Project Light Up Uyo, and right now you can see that we have changed all of the poles, electric poles, down to solar. And we can earn carbon credits for this green energy. We have started Project Light Up all police stations in Akwa Ibom State, because when you visit these police stations in the night, it's very dark. The charge room is dark. The cell is dark. If you go to Eket and Surubium, you will see the models we have created, and we are going to light up every police station in this state with solar energy. That is the Arise agenda. We are on course, and we are assessing ourselves to see that wherever we have gaps, we close the gaps. We recently appointed delivery advisors to specific projects with deliverable timelines, and each of those delivery advisors knows that they have a deadline to meet as we work on our projects. On workers' welfare, the Arise agenda has seen workers in Akwa Ibom experience a new lease of life with the implementation of the new minimum wage and its consequential adjustments. Additionally, we have paid over 60 billion towards clearing the 98 billion backlog of gratuities owed to retired workers since 2012, ensuring financial relief for our pensioners. To cater for the housing needs of our workers, we recently donated 150 housing units to workers between grade level 1 and 7. we will continue in this trajectory. On e-governance, we have created a new ministry of science and digital economy to deepen our e-governance processes. So far, our employment procurement, Akwa GIS, bursary, scholarships, and other processes have been digitalized for transparency and accountability. And our students know that they can now get bursary by just filling the form and going online. That is part of the e-governance. Now let's begin to wind down. Recommendation and conclusion. I am of the firm belief that to achieve sustainable development, states and local government must embrace fiscal prudence and revenue diversification, thus reducing their reliance or dependence on the federal allocations. Since we came on board, we have cut wastages in government and are determined to expand our revenue base by digitalizing of government operations. People the other day said we are wasteful by going for a retreat. I laughed. If you know how prudent and how much we have saved this state since we came on board, you will clap for us every day because we have reduced wastages. And that's why we get the money to do the projects we are currently executing without borrowing any money. I want Akwa Ibom to enjoy the benefits of the good that God has made available to us. And so we are prudent. And I challenge anybody to take me on any day about any area of expenditure. You will know that we have been prudent. Budget today is 600% capital, 300% recurrent. I do not know how a government would have run and showed prudential management. We are creating an Akwa Ibom Geographical Information Center, a digital platform where our people will be able to pay ground rent. I know some of you seated here, living in a wet, living in shelter. You will not like to hear this, but wait, from next year, you will pay ground rent. I need the money. You cannot be living and not paying ground rent. I'm serving you advance notice now. And we will also be able to offer seamless certificate of occupancy that will help stimulate our economy in the state. We are investing heavily in the tourism sector that has been described variously as the new black gold, from agricultural tourism through our Ibom model farms, where work is currently ongoing, and upon completion, promises to be the best of such integrated farm in our region, to medical tourism, with our planned Ibom International Medical Center, a 200-bed hospital that will come with 24 different departments under one roof. This hospital, once completed, will compare to any facility anywhere in the world. We want to stem that money transfers that we spend to go abroad for simple medical checks. The Arise Resort, which we hope to commission in the first half of this year, as I mentioned earlier, the International Conference Center, the Ibom Tropicana Hotel, which we are poised to complete, will signpost our ascendancy as the tourism hub in this region and bring in billions of naira in revenue. We remain committed to the growth and expansion of Ibom Air, and work is ongoing in the aviation village as part of our investment in the aviation ecosystem. We are committed to human capital development of our people. This has been acknowledged by the federal government and the World Bank, leading to the launch 2 days ago of the Human Capital Strategic Development Plan by the Vice President, Distinguished Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, and Akwa Ibom State today leads the way in human capital development. We have achieved a success rate of 3.5 out of school children against the national average of 25.6, a truly remarkable feat. we are positioning our state for growth beyond oil by strategic investment in tourism, human capital development, and technology. A scorecard derivable from the Arise Agenda Plan, which cannot be fully presented in this short lecture, reflects our steadfast commitment to good governance, transparency, people-centric policies through the rollout of tangible projects, impactful policy interventions, compassionate initiatives that have significantly improved the livelihood of Akwa Ibom people, which position the state for long-term growth. I will not talk of the emotional connectivity, where a governor is closer to the people than ever before. Every now and then, I stop by the road, I see people, touch them, feel them, pet them, hug them, and carry them with me, just to show that government can be brought closer to our people. Let them feel that a governor can be with them in their moments of sorrow and in their moments of joy. As I conclude, Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to ensure the success of economic development in the subnationals, policymakers must emphasize the development of a plan of action before commencing implementation of projects and programs. It is important that we plan what we want to do and follow it methodologically and systematically. We follow through and not just wake up and think, oh, we need to do this. Everything in the Arise Agenda follows a plan and a blueprint, and all of it is gravitating towards diversification of our state resources so that we do not depend every month looking up to Abuja for money. We will strengthen governance, institutional capacity, enhance internally generated revenue to reduce reliance on federal allocations, promote regional economic cooperation and trade among states, encourage private sector-led development through investment incentives, focus on collaboration rather than conflict. This is very key. In Akwa Ibom, there is no Uyo front and Abuja front. We collaborate, we work across party lines, and we make sure that the interest is Akwa Ibom interest, and there is what is called an enhanced state interest, not an enhanced personal interest. Wherever and whatever I have to do to bring development to Akwa Ibom, ladies and gentlemen, sorry to disappoint you, I will do it. Adopt the three main theoretical frames of this paper: development theory, decentralization theory, endogenous theory, that will help in building the structures for a strong and resilient economy. Since the inception of administration 23 months ago, we have worked with unwavering commitment to translate the Arise Agenda into tangible results. Indeed, we make bold to say that in the last 23 months, we have literally ticked all the boxes in our set goals, even though there are many more grounds to cover. We have achieved this by the help of the Almighty God and by the support of Akwa Ibomites and the team that God has raised for us, and we are willing to do more. Our long-term plan is to make Akwa Ibom a major economic force within the Federation. California in the United States, though a subnational entity in the United States, is the 5th largest economy in the world. With the Arise Agenda, we hope to elevate our state to be recognized as a major subnational economy, working in close collaboration and synergy with the federal government. Akwa Ibom today is being positioned as a sustainable subnational entity beyond oil. I urge policymakers, businesses, the academia, and citizens to join hands in this journey towards a prosperous, self-reliant, and global competitive subnational economy. As I close this discussion, Let me again appreciate my alma mater, the University of Uyo, and particularly the Faculty of Social Sciences, for the privilege of sharing my thoughts with you and for bringing leadership to accountability. This is critically important because today I believe you've provided me the platform not only to talk to this university, but to talk to Akwa Ibom generally on the way we are moving the state. And I hope that I have inspired reflections that will contribute to the conversations, well-meaning criticism that will also provide solutions on the overall development of our state. I also hope that this lecture has again underscored the critical role of subnationals in driving economic transformation within the Nigerian federal structure. Importantly, strategic economic policies tailored to local comparative advantages can unlock the economic potentials of such subnationals. This is what Arise agenda is meant to achieve. So far, I believe we are on course in its implementation. Before I close, let me just respond very quickly to the issues that was raised by the Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences. As someone that came from this university, it is unheard of the Faculty of Social Sciences is not in the main campus. So tomorrow morning, if you show us a place and give us the drawing, we will build you the Honorable Minister of Education spoke to me about the encroachment around the university campus and requested that I step in to assist. And I told him the only way to assist, we have issued certificate of occupancy, is to partner with the federal government to fence this new university. And he requested that we undertake the whole fencing. I said, no, I won't do that, but we'll partner with the federal government. So I'm prepared to fire the first shot. We will send a team from the Ministry of Land to check the size of the fence, and we will work with you and provide 50% of the funding to fence the university. Because it is a federal university, we expect the federal government to also bring the other 50%. When we fence the university, encroachment will stop. But let me warn clearly that we have issued certificate of occupancy to this university, and we have, in that certificate of occupancy, there is a landmass that we have surveyed. Anyone who have encroached that landmass, as we begin the fencing, such buildings will come down. I need to warn ahead. We cannot allow this to continue. This is a university and we must protect it, because even though it's a federal university, majority of the students here are from Akwa Ibom State. Then on the happy hour, I believe that when you work hard, you rest well. I believe that if you achieve a milestone, you should celebrate. And it is very biblical. Every time David was taking the Ark of the Covenant from the house of Obed-Edom to Jerusalem, at every step he carried the Ark, he will pause by and rejoice. And to rejoice in those days included that you had to kill cow, you have to sacrifice so many things. That was happy hour. And so, So as early as tomorrow morning, the management of the university will get 20 million naira. That, listen, if you don't listen, you will miss my analysis. That 20 million naira is for the Vice Chancellor's office to look at 1 or 2 repairs in the university. Then the teachers generally will get another 20 million naira. That one is for lunch of today. Then the students of the university will get 20 million naira. Then the Faculty of Social Sciences will get 10 million naira. Then the Department of Political Science will get 10 million naira. Then the general staff of the university will get another 10 million naira. We believe that that should be able to help. That's aside from the building that we are going to give, and we're already working on roads, and we believe that it is just going to be well. Please permit me to personally celebrate Professor Chris Ekom, who is the dean who has invited us, who has put this together with another 10 million naira. Thank you so much. I welcome discussions, interactions at this point. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you all. God bless Akwa Ibom State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. And God bless you.
Just fight our life, just drop the knife, like drop his life. Nature is life. We can cry the way we can enter moto. I'm right for arrow, I'm right for you. You should come with me. I'm missing the love at home. I'm missing the love at home. I'm missing the love at Bishop. I'm missing the love at home. Ufadi upempo, I said let me school you. Go to Freddy Bagger. In fact, there's no problem. Jimmy means come here. Demo means come chop. Imam means your God love. For you, and I know you're feeling it too. Cause keep equals to N or bong. Thank God equals to eat in a bong. Young me young, but do body young. I know you love champagne to pop your brain and blow your pain. But take on some to calm your brain. I mean, palm wine, don't mind the fly. There's nice spice to make you. I want to go. I'm from Akwa Ibom.